And I believe I just want to double check to see everybody can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, is this a little mailman?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So first of all, thank you very much for coming. And I know it's in a very short notice. So in this quick Zoom meeting, what we are going to do is basically walk through everybody in this whole process to see how this so-called CERB can be applied. We basically have three parts in this whole presentation, which lasting hopefully by 30 minutes also. We reserved another 10 minutes just in case anybody have more questions. So the first part, I'd like to give people a quick rundown on why we have this meeting and why we feel this is needed for some of our own community members, as well as for the people who may need help on this. And secondly, we just go through this so-called checklist to help everybody to know how we can safely follow this checklist and get things done. And we will share this checklist over the Zoom shared screen so that you can see exactly what is going on. And that probably take about 20 minutes also, and then we leave 10 minutes for a quick meeting Q&A section. So anybody has any questions or it's good to go? Okay, so I will just start it. So first thing first, as we all know, many of us, pretty much everybody in this country are being impacted by the so-called COVID-19 pandemic. And in the last 1 month, also many people start to get job lost, being laid off, and lost their income. So the government, in order to basically cope with this situation, it came up with quite a few very, very rapidly measures. And in the whole process, as we all know, the policy was changing quite quick. First, start from EI, then start from the so-called CRB program. And today is the first day. What we hear from many of our own members mentioned it is very difficult to navigate through all those policies, forms, and it's quite confusing. And sometimes they are not quite sure they are qualified or not. We actually, in particular case, some clients saying tried twice and been kicked out, locked out from the system, which we tried on our own and we did find it's a bit confusing as well. So in order to help our clients to be able to just give me a second. We got more people coming in, so I'm just trying to make sure everybody can hear me. So Jen, can you hear me? I think you are just joined. Okay, so you should be okay. If you have a question, just let me know, and we just keep going. Okay, so long story short, what helped us to process this whole situation is the fact that as a landlord, investor, and the past I'm an engineer, so it's relatively easy for me to put everything on the table and start to line them up and use a systematic approach to list what are the things we need to check, make sure we get everything covered and do it in a clear and efficient way. That's pretty much how we try to help in this process. And so that is basically the whole situation we're trying to work out with. So this form we are going to jump into right away is basically 7-step, 24 points, allows you to, from the top to bottom, to basically, check on your own. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into this form right away. and you guys can just follow along. If you do have the form already downloaded, that's great. You can take a look if you have two screens on your computer. But if you don't worry. At the end of the meeting, we are going to send you the link so you can pretty much download that form we are going to go through, which should help you to mitigate the whole situation properly. Okay, so that is basically the whole process. And without further ado, I'm going to jump in right away. So the next thing I'm going to do is to share the screen with you here, and you will see what it looks like for this particular form. So let me just make sure I got this proper form up. So can anybody see this form? Okay, I'm just trying to. Okay. So I just need to a quick check with everybody. Just give me a second. It's called Zoom meeting, CREB application checklist. Can anybody see it? So if you can, maybe just answer, say yes, I have no issue. Okay. So let me bring this. Okay, let me just. Hello, I may ask Little Mailman, can you see that form?
Yeah, I have it open.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I have it open.
Oh, you have it open on your own computer, right?
Yeah, I downloaded it.
Oh, okay. So no problem. And let me just try one more time. Make sure I got this form proper. Okay. So on the screen, can you see the meeting called Zoom meeting, CREB application checklist? Hello?
Yeah, it's on the video now.
I mean, on the screen, you can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. That's all I need. So if anybody have trouble, just make a sound or just raise your hand, let me know, okay? But other than that, let's just go through. So this is pretty much the meeting, the checklist. It's called CREB application checklist. So I just want to give you a quick overview on this whole form. So as you may see, they have this so-called P01, who can apply, P02, how to apply, P03, get ready now, P04, P05, until P07. So that's so-called 7 steps. And in each step, you have points you want to check. So in total, we have 24 points. And that's how we basically put those bit complicated information all in the one form. And you can, this allow us to go through them step by step and simply understand what is suitable for us, what is not feasible, apply for us. And so on the other side, there is a double X with the number. So that means the note. If you look at each individual points, we have the 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. Those are the detailed information, either in the format of note, which I'm going to show you shortly when we go through in the next few minutes, and also in the link, so that without going to anywhere else, you pretty much have all the information you need to decide, are you qualified? If you are qualified, what you are going to do to get ready, and what you are going to expect once you finish application, so on. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. The first thing first, who can apply? So the number 1 point, so those are the checkpoints. I'm just doing it once I'm I'm here. So when you have the form in your own computer, obviously it's very easy for you to just go through them like what I did. If this is fit you, you just check it, it works for you. Okay, for example, the very first we have is so-called resident who can apply. So the people who can apply is very simple. You live in Canada and you are at least 15 years old. Okay. So if you want to know, okay, if I'm a Canadian, I live in Canada, or I'm an immigrant, I live in Canada, that's no brainer, pretty easy. Well, what if I'm a foreign worker? What if I'm a student? Then all you need is go to the note number 14. If you look at it here, there is a link. If you click it, and you will see there is a link. You open the link, you will see there is the right relative information to tell you, are you going to be qualified as the definition of so-called resident in Canada. Okay, so you need to go through this information and make your own decision. That's how we're trying to make things relatively simple. And so that is basically for this particular one. Let's go back to the form. So the first thing, most people will say yes, we check it. And the second point is who have stopped working because of COVID-19 or are eligible for EI on regular or sick benefit. Okay, so this is basically say if you are impacted because of COVID-19, you lost your job, you are closed, your office is being closed, then you are qualified. So very simple, you just check the mark if that's your case. If you are not, then no need to go further because you are not qualified. So let's keep going. Who had income at least five? I mean, the person who are okay for the last 2 points, you need also to have so-called income in your tax return of 2019, which you failed in 2019, but it actually means 2018. So a lot of people get confused on this part. So all you need is you check on your tax return, which reflect how much you made in 2018, not 2019. Okay, you have that, and you say, okay, I make $5,000 more. Probably most people are. If that's the case, you're qualified. Or if you are not, then you check on the last 12 months, starting March 15th, you back check. You will find, okay, if from the March 15th back 12 months, I have made $5,000, which has not been reported. So you got to be honest on this with the government because they may check as an audit process, which we all know it is a part of the routine. So if that's the case, fit your situation, then you check. You say, yes, I made 5,000 in 2018, or I'm making more than 5,000 in the last 12 months since March 15th, 2020. That's been checked. Then we go to the fourth point. Who are or expected to be without employment or self-employment income for at least 12 consecutive days in the initial 4 weeks period. Okay, so again, you need to have no income. That is very important. A lot of people say, okay, I have 2 jobs or maybe 3 jobs, but I lost 1 or 2. I still have 1 going. You know what? Based on this definition, you are not qualified. So you have to basically say, okay, in the last 15 days, I lost my job. The starting date is March 15th. You start at that day, you say, okay, from March 15th to today, I lost 14 days job, or I know this is not going to getting better before it getting even worse in the next few months, then you know you are for sure going to be qualified, okay? But it has to be no job. That is important. However, this morning I just checked on some certain policy, and people starting to realize this could be an issue too. So I think the government is going to come up with some new resolution. But at this point, if you still have some job going on, you may not qualify. You can try, but you may be rejected. So let's go to the next point is, so we say, let's just check this one. So the 5 point, so the benefit is only available for the individual who stopped work and are not earning employment or self-employed income as a result of COVID-19. So basically, it kind of tells you if you stop working, if you're still working, you are not qualified. Or if you already applied EI before March 15th, you are going to be stay in the EI. But if you applied after March 15th in the EI, you know what? You are going to be transferred to here. Okay, so the cut point is March 15th, but either way, if you are qualified, you will be covered. So this is basically what it says. So if you know you have all the above is being checked, you know you are qualified, then the next is how to apply, right? And the beginning day is April 16, April 6, which is today, but there are a bit more details. You may or may not be able to apply today, depending on the situation. We will go through it very quickly. But basically on this P02, what you are actually getting is you can apply through online with CRA. If that's what you do, you check it. Or if you want to say, okay, I want to do the phone, I want to call in and start to apply, then you just check on this note 05, I believe, and you open it up and you see here what you need to bring when you call, get ready to call your SIN number, so on, what is the number you need to call, so on. So it's all there. You can just go and do a quick check. And now what you need to get ready is ask yourself those few questions from those points. Okay, so the first, do you have CRA, my account, to apply? From what I see, most people actually do not have it, but we will explain to you a little bit more. But let's say if you do have it, just make sure 03 is being checked. So you go 03, you look at here, there is certain things you need to kind of make sure you have it ready, okay? And now let's go for the 09. The 09 is yes, I do have my account set up, but my user ID, I forgot. That is very common. You just go to 06 here and to check how you can get it back, okay? And some people say, okay, I have yes to everything, but I've been locked out. Then go to 07. There is a way how to get it fixed. So you say, no, but I have so-called my Service Canada account, and then go to 08. You can go there and you can check on that part as well, okay? So that's what we call I-17. For those who are a little bit late on the meeting, we are just go through this this form. So if you have any question, just kind of follow along. We are kind of starting for about 5-10 minutes already. So it's not difficult to go through this, but basically we are go through this checklist for everybody, okay? So now, as we said, if I don't have my account set up and I don't have my Service Canada account set up, then what do you do? And then you basically use the link at 04 and to get it set up, which take you probably less than 5-10 minutes, which we are going to go through quickly with you in another quick form here as well. And if you, and another thing is very, very important is, do you have your direct deposit set up through this My Account, or you prefer to use mailing? Either way, it will work. It just take a little bit longer, or maybe take a little bit shorter. Okay, so that's based on your situation. So now, the time you feel okay, I'm ready now. I like to get started. So as I pointed out at this number, you say okay. If your date of birth is in January, the month of the January, or February or March, then you can apply today. Okay, so that's why if you are born in different months, you can't. You still have to wait, which may not be a good thing. It may not be a bad thing, because you know what, it just gave you some time to get ready, right? So that's basically it. And then based on this information, you check and mark your calendar and say, okay, I know I'm going to do this and I'm going to apply at that time. Okay, so that is the point here. Oh, I go a little bit far. So let's go for I number 15. So the number 15 basically is we kind of recommend you mark your calendar once you know your date, just to help you to remember this important time, which allows you to get $2,000 the maximum for a month. So the next step is when you start to apply, you need to know what time you are going to call in or what time you can do the online. Do online, you can do it pretty much anytime, 24 hours, 7 days a week. If you are call in, go to number 12. It tells you the phone agents in government are going to work pretty much 21 hours per day. They have 3 hours basically a day for system maintenance. But I think this is quite convenient for everybody who need to get this done, and also because the volume and so on. So the next one is, if you want to do the online, just follow this instruction. And if you want to do phone, go this one. So you check on this one. And the next step, which is after you apply, what you are expecting, right? And if you are eligible CERB, you can get $2,000. If you are not, government definitely will tell you that you are not. And also, this is very important. Many people was not aware. They think I'm apply for once, and then I'm settled for the next 4 months, which is untrue. What is going to happen is you apply for 4 weeks, get $2,000, and after $4,000, you may have a situation change. Your business may start it. You've been called back to do work again. You start working, or government working with the employer does something else, allows you to have the new things happen. So you need to apply pretty much every 4 weeks. And that's why it is important. You need to understand this very quick, very important. So you can't just apply for once and then wait for that and say, okay, I'm done. No, you have to apply again. So, and people also ask, is those money tax-free? Unfortunately, no. It is taxable, okay? It is part of your income for the year 2020, which going to be taxable on whatever you earn for the year of 2020. That's basically the information. And if you want to learn more, you look at the note at number 13 to check. We don't spend time to go through them here. And I think the period is another thing. Some people need money very desperately. Some people say, well, take a few more days. That doesn't matter to me. Make no big difference. So all you need to do is the date you can apply for this so-called CRB is starting counting on March 15th. If you, for whatever reason, lost your job before March 15th, it's not covered here, okay? So if you apply by online 3 days, it will come deposit into your account. But if you say, okay, send me the mail with the check, it may take 10 days. Okay, so 3 days, 10 days, those are the big difference. And the very next one is where are the payment method? That's basically on what you choose when you set up your account. And the next one is what to expect the payment, when to expect. I explained that already, okay? So this is again very important. You do need to apply again every 4 weeks, okay? So that is the situation evaluation, which I think relatively fair to everybody. And the next one is we would recommend you to mark your calendar, okay, to apply for every 4 weeks. That way you don't need to struggling, so, oh yeah, I forgot, or it's my time. So just mark it on your calendar. Put 4 times, give it 4 weeks and then go to the next one, use the recurring feature, and that will help you to get things going in an organized way. So this is the basically CERB application process. As you can see, it's not that difficult, really, right? You just need to have a clear checklist, really. This is what it is for. It is a checklist to go through everything. Obviously, I have some time at the end of this presentation for you to ask any questions you like. But before we go to that step, I'd like to go through with you quickly on the next sheet, which is called CRA number setup. It's basically say how are you going to set up so-called My CRA account. That I believe is something going to help you in a better way. So if you could, if you have it already, no problem. It doesn't take 5 minutes. We go through it. But if you don't have it, I do highly use it. Okay. So that's basically what the form is. For the people who just come in a little bit later on, please mute your microphone if I could ask, so that the others will listen this meeting clearly. And once I finish, if you don't mind, we can unmute it and anybody can ask questions by that time. Okay. Thank you very much. So for this particular form, we call it My CRA account setup. So what you need is first you go to the link, same thing, you go this 001, that's the link. And then they ask you for social insurance number, postal code, date of birth. And this is a bit important. You do need exact information, okay, for 2018 tax return, which means you filed in 2019. Okay, hopefully you understand. 2020, you filed 2019 tax return. And your 2019 tax return is going to be delayed because of this COVID-19. So nobody actually ask you 2019 information. What you're providing is 2018. Okay, just to be clear. And once you have all the information put in, the picture will show you, I will show you quickly what that looks like. Okay, so we do have a link I can show you quickly. So basically it asks you something called security code. Due to the crucial important information in this website, CRA does not give you this so-called security code notification by email. It sends you by mail. So that's why it gives you a big talk on, oh yeah, this thing is going to be sent by mail, make sure you check it, so on. But here is the point. If you are going to apply for COVID-19 emergency funding, that security code is not required. In other words, you can still set up this account without that security code being received, which only gives you part of access, but that is good enough for you to apply for the CERB, the emergency funding. Okay, so that's basically what it is. And let me just remove this thing a bit far here so I can see. Okay, so this is basically the second point. And once you keep going to apply, they will ask you creating the ID password, which is quite common. I believe most people should be fine on this. If you have a question, you can definitely ask. So let's go to the next one. It asks you to create 5 questions and answers. Okay, so what this form allows you to do is, as long as you are applying those information, you can simply put it in. And then you can save in a safe place on your own computer, which is going to help you to record those information that is going to be only available for you. Okay, so that is the kind of design we are putting here. And if you look at 05, I will show you the picture, what it looks like. It asks you to review those questions. Those questions are very important. You do need to keep a good record, because otherwise it will delay your process. And sometimes government is relatively slow when you especially under this situation. Okay, so those are the information we filled in. As you can see, the answer obviously being blocked out. It will be your own answer. And questions, there are tons of questions there, allows you to choose and pick. I just give you a quick view and in terms of how it looks like. Okay, so once you have this all set up, it asks you to review and the term conditions, ask you to confirm your code, notification. This thing is not necessary for our funding apply, so simply ignore it. If you don't have this account set up and you set it up today, it will tell you this security code will be mailed to you, which is fine. Okay, you doesn't impact you apply for this CERB. So you know, but it will be coming so that you can use this for more purpose in the future. And the very last, ask you agree, those kind of government jargons you need to kind of follow along. And the very last thing I do want to remind everybody is to put the email option is option, but it is going to help, especially in this circumstance, to get the latest information from government. So I do strongly recommend everybody to have this email set up. So this pretty much give the overall of this whole checklist, which is going to be helping everybody hopefully to get their process finished easily. Okay, so if you have any questions, do feel free to ask me right now. I think the time-wise, we are around 30 minutes into the meeting. So we have 10 more meetings. If you have any questions, please do feel free to ask. And when you ask, just unmute it, okay? So any questions or all good? Jen, I think you are just coming for some time, right? Okay, can't hear. Okay, so if you guys don't have any questions, I will simply call this meeting at the end. And thank you very much for everybody coming. And if you do need to download that form, I think you got the email already. So just to check the email and follow the instruction, you should have this form, which is 100% free. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, and have a good day.